So Squarespace forms are great until you want to send submissions to more than one email address. Out of the box, Squarespace only lets you add one email. If you're working with a team or want a client or an assistant to get notified at the same time, there are some workarounds. Today I'm going to show you multiple ways to send your Squarespace form to multiple recipients, whether you want to use Gmail, Google Groups, Zapier, Pabbly Make, or even another option. I'm Vic King from Strong Sites, and I build tools and tutorials to help web designers and small businesses stay sharp. All right, let's get after it. So option one, and this is the easiest, a Gmail forwarding rule. So the fastest workaround is honestly just to send form submissions to a Gmail account and set up a forwarding rule. You go to settings, you go to filters and blocked addresses, and create a filter for messages from Squarespace. So most Squarespace form submissions come from form-submission@squarespace.info. Although there are some other possible places they send emails from, you would grab all emails from form submission and you'd create a filter. And next you would forward to, and you would add the extra emails. This works great if you want to forward all your form submissions to your assistant or to a shared inbox. It doesn't work so great if you only want to send particular forms. Now you can set up, as long as you have your forms named properly, see how it says form submission contact page, form submission survey, you could adjust the parameters of your filter to exclude or include words from the subject line so that you're only forwarding emails from a certain form to a certain email address. And there is a little bit of setup involved in initially adding another email address as a forwarding email from your Gmail. But once you jump through those hoops, it just works. Now, heads up, Gmail can merge similar emails into one thread, which is annoying for form submissions. Stick around at the end, I'll show you how to stop that with a custom code trick. All right, so that's option one. Option two is using a Google group or an alias. So Google groups are these free email distribution groups that Google uses, and you can also set them up within Google Workspace if you use Google Workspace. So you could create an alias or a Google group within your domain, like leads at your domain or contact at your domain, and have it forward to multiple team members. In your Squarespace form, you would just use that group email. So say it'd be like leads@strongsites.co, and it would automatically forward to everybody on that list. So a list that forwards like that to a group email and then everyone in the group will get it is another way to distribute it. All right, option three, a Zapier automation. So Squarespace does offer Zapier as a storage option. So you can connect it to your Zapier account, and if you're already using it to add form entries into your CRM, you can add a step to send an email to multiple people. So the trigger would be a form submission from Squarespace to Google Sheets. The action would be a Gmail or a Zapier email to send a custom email to whoever you want. This is where it starts to get really powerful. Like you could send different messages to different roles, like notifying a sales rep or sending a copy to the admin. That's the Zapier connection. Zapier is the only automation tool that Squarespace natively supports, but it's also possible to do something similar with Pabbly Connect or Make. So with both of those, you can create mail hooks, so a custom email address that you can put into your Squarespace form, and that captures the form email response, and then you can parse it and kind of do whatever you want with it using Mailgun or a native Gmail trigger or something like that. And Make can work much the same way. So if you create sort of an inbound email trigger and put that in your Squarespace form to receive the form submission, and then you set up the automation to forward the email to wherever it needs to go or map it into whatever type of data scenario it needs to be. It's a little more setup, but it gives you more power than Gmail forwarding. If none of those is doing it for you, or if you feel like you're otherwise just hitting the limits of Squarespace forms, maybe you need advanced conditional logic or customized confirmation emails or multiple notifications to different people, may I recommend Fillout.com. It lets you do all kinds of advanced things like sending an email to the person who filled it out. using logic to show or hide questions based on their answers to earlier questions, redirect on submit, custom thank you messages, trigger other automations. It's really powerful, and you can connect it with Google Sheets, but also with Airtable or Notion and Google Drive and other ways than just Google Sheets and Dropbox. And they have a surprisingly powerful free plan. It embeds beautifully on Squarespace. So if you go to my contact page, you'll see this web strategy audit that I made that's a multi-step form. The only branding is this little Fillout badge. If you want to upgrade to their paid plan, you can get rid of that. But it's really quite clean. Beats the pants off Jot form, if you ask me. And embedding it on Squarespace is as simple as grabbing the embed code, right? You get that code there, going to your Squarespace site, creating a code block, and pasting the embed in there. So consider using Fillout if you need advanced conditional logic, if you want to be able to control email notifications from within the form itself, if you want to be able to send confirmations to the person who submitted the form, or if you want to integrate with other things like Airtable or Notion. So if you're building on Squarespace and their form block is holding you back, I would suggest Fillout as the next step. All right, last thing, and this is a bonus fix. Stop Gmail from merging form submissions. If you're seeing all your form submissions merged into one email thread in Gmail, here's how to fix that. So Gmail threads are based on identical subject lines, so you need to add a timestamp to the subject. You can do this using code from Chris Schwartz-Edmondson's blog post, which he sort of adapted or expanded from Beyond Space so that it'll work on Lightbox forms as well. So basically you just grab this JavaScript and add it to your footer code injection of your site, and then add a subject field to your form, because Squarespace will automatically make the content of a text field with a label of subject the subject of the email form submission. So if you just want to have a subject field and let people put in whatever subject they want, that will become the subject of the email form submission and make it unique. But you'd have to require that, because if somebody leaves it blank, then it would pile into the same thread in Gmail. And so the way to get around this is this little bit of custom code, originally from Beyond Space, modified by Chris, and adding a subject field with subject in the label and placeholder. And then the code looks for that subject form, hides it, but then inserts the day and time of the form submission as the subject. And so then that slots it in to the subject line, and you'll always have unique form submissions in Gmail. They won't merge it into a single thread. So there you go, 4 solid ways to send Squarespace forms to multiple emails. You got Gmail forwarding, you got Google Groups or aliases, you got Zapier and other automation tools, you got Pabbly or Make, and then your 5th sort of option, getting outside of Squarespace forms, would be fillout.com. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe, or check out strongsites.co for more pro-level Squarespace tools, tips, tutorials, and templates. Happy building.